Hi everybody, welcome back to today's video. I'm going to show you how to design this real quick. Let's step into Photoshop. Let me show you how to do it. Let's go. Okay, so let's go to file, let's go to new, and then you're going to create, it's a social media post. Okay, so we're going to create a dimension which is a square. Okay, and it's going to be 2000 here, 2000 here, it's going to be 300 here. Okay, I'm going to set it to color white here, and then I'm going to call it workers day post, right? And then I'm going to click on create. I'm going to try as much as possible to make this real quick. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is set up our guards layout. Okay, now this is going to help us with alignment later on. So 6 here. I'm going to set it to 0.3 across. I'm going to click on OK. It's really going to help us with our alignment, guys. Make sure you do that. Let's also bring in our background, and to create our background, I'm going to file, I'm going to place embedded, and then I'm going to pick my background. Now everything, guys, is going to be in the description for you. I'm going to leave everything in the description for you to download it and use it. Okay, so I'm going to just so this is in bad, enter. You can push it up a little bit. Alright, so this is good, and then we can put it in a group. We're going to call it BG. Also, I'd like to click here and I'd like to create a new layer for it. Then I would like to click on my brush and then go and pick soft run brush on top here. Okay, I'm going to click somewhere here. Okay, make sure my caps lock is off. I want to see the tip of the brush. Guys, come here to the left bottom here and then choose color black. Alright, so we just want to click here and then hold it and then click maybe somewhere here. Okay, I just wanted to. Alright, so I reckon this is enough, but if the needs be, we can come back there and then do it all over again. Okay, so this is good. Also, guys, let's just start with our text, and the text I'm going to type somewhere here, and then I'm going to pick in my font month over there, and then guys double click it and then paste it there. Okay, month over there. We're going to be using a font I've never used before on this channel, Salvatore. Okay, so Salvatore, let's pick any of them. Okay, so Salvatore, and then we need to make it very big. Okay, so I'm just going to use, I guess, let's just make it maybe around 89 or 90 thereabout is going to be good. Okay, click on your move to Control H, Control T, just move it somewhere. For the meantime, we are going to work on it more. So this is what we are going to do. Okay, so the font size is 89, right? Now this side, that's the tracking. We need to make sure it's very close and compact. So you're going to make it minus 65. Okay, minus 65, enter. All right, and then also the color here, you need to make sure it's color yellow, FFD823. Okay, and then click on enter, and then we also need to give it some drop shadow effect. So double click it, and then let's go to drop shadow down here. Now this is going to be multiply the color here. Let's set it to pure color black. Okay, and then let's just set the angle here to 104. Also, guys, the opacity here, set it all the way to 100. Okay, now I want you to take a look at it. Okay, it looks good so far. The display, let's set it to 33. Nice. Now we need to make sure it's spreads out nicely. We're going to set here to color 5, and then the size here is what's going to make a difference, guys. Take a look at it. 221. You can see it looks good now. Click on, and then that is it. Well, now we're going to duplicate it, Control J, and then let's drag it down. This time we're going to right click it, and then we are going to clear, exactly, and then we're going to type May there. Okay, let's drag it somewhere here. Control H, Control T. We always, guys, you always want to make sure it falls in the middle here. Okay, it needs to always fall in the middle. That's what we want it to be, and then drag it down. Good. It also need to be real close to it. Alright, so drag it underneath the month to feel the effect. So we now come here to the color, click on the color here, then let's change the color to 80FF00. Alright, so color green. Now these are the two colors that we are going to be using throughout. I want you to pay close attention to it. Let's see how it looks like. I feel like this is better. This is great so far. We can put it in a group. We are going to call it month of. We are still not yet done, guys. Hold on. Let's click on it again, and then we are going to add a few other things. I want you to click on your text tool, just type somewhere here. All right, and then let's go and pick in the rest of the detail. We are going to pick in first May, copy it and come and paste it there. Now drag it down. We're going to be using a different font for this. Okay, so we are going to be using Montserrat for it. Now I'm going to be using just a few fonts. We also need to reduce the size drastically. We're going to be using the font size 10, and this is what is going to make it beauty. You need to alternate within the sizes. This is a graphic design principle called contrast in size. So I'm going to click here, make it all caps. Also guys, pay attention. I'll click here, set the color to color white. Good. Then I'm going to come to this side and I'm going to space it out real nicely using 400. You can see how it looks like. I'm going to drag it here. Now I want it to touch this side. I want it to be the same line as this. Okay, if you feel me. Nice. Then I want it to feel like it's in the middle of this. I think this is good, guys. This is good. So we are going to maintain this. Okay, yep, we're going to maintain this. Now we're also going to duplicate it and we're going to drag it all the way up, and then with this we are going to give it the font size. Let's give it extra bold, I think so. Let's go and pick in the details over here. We're going to be using Happy New. Good. And then the tracking, we need to reduce the tracking drastically, so you're going to use -65. Okay, nice. Also guys, pay attention. Now you can see we made this align with this. You also need to be the same thing over here, so I'm going to drag it. Yep, I'm going to drag it like that. Then I also want it to be a little closer to it. Now I think this is good. This looks great. Now you can do one thing. You can give it let's just say you can give it a drop shadow effect over there, or you can leave it like that. I feel like this is great. I'm going to maintain it, but I'm going to increase the font size. I'm going to make it 12 nicely, just to let people know that it's a little bold and it stands out over there. I feel like this is good. I'm going to leave it this way. Now let's go in, duplicate this, and then let's drag it somewhere here. All right, take this off. I'll go and I'm going to pick welcome, and I'm going to paste it there. Now welcome, we're going to alternate. You're going to be using the font orthographia. Click on it, and then we need to make it big to stand out because we can't really see it over here. So the font size I'm going to give it is above 30. Make it look really nice. Control H, Control T. Let's keep it centered. Okay, let's keep it centered. So one of the reasons why we brought our lines. All right, so I need to bring it up a little bit. I feel like somewhere here is better. Then we can hold Alt and then drag this effect on month over here during the layer side. Drag it there. Good. Now I want you to go in there and then let's just make a few tweaks to it. Okay, now we're leaving everything here like this. The angle here, guys, now you can choose to leave the angle like that, or you can still just tweak it a little bit. The distance here, I'm going to make the distance 1. Good. And then here the spread here, I'm going to leave it 5. Also the size over here, I'm going to make it 114. Okay, and then that is it. And this way it stands out. Now we can close it, or we can even go and pick in a few other stuff just to spice it up. Now if you study my work, I like to add 3D effects to it, or 3D elements to it as well, just to make it beautiful and then different. Okay, so I'm going to add this 3D effect to it. I'll go here and I'm going to pick hue and saturation, and then I'm going to clip it to it. Why am I doing that? I want to change the color to green because I want two colors to be pronounced in this particular flyer. I want it to be yellow and I want it to be green. So I'll go here to master. To manipulate the color red, I need to choose color red, and then the hue here, I can now play with the hue here. Okay, so I'm going to set it all the way somewhere here. Maybe we should move it a little bit more. I think this is good. This is great. We can leave it like that. Now we can close it. So we are done with that. Also, select everything, Control T. You need to make sure everything is what? Everything is what? Is middle aligned. Good. We are getting somewhere. So we have to also bring in some quotes, because if this is going to be the month of May, there definitely has to be some quotes around here. Okay, so I'm going to pick the quotes over there, and then I'm going to click on my text tool there, and then I'm going to drag it like that, and I'm going to paste it in there. Now, what font am I going to be using? You guess right, I'm going to be using Montserrat for it. Okay, also I'm going to keep the font size really simple. Okay, so somewhere around 9 or 10 will do. Then we cannot really see it, so let's just make it medium so that we can see it. I also feel like we can't really see it still. Let's make the color a little bit different. 730E00. I feel like we can see this color now. What else can we do? Double click it. Let's drag it like that. Yeah, I like this one. Let's come here, let's set it to 22 or 21 will do. Okay, good. Now let's just bring it in there. Click on my move to, Control H. Now you guess right, everything has to be like that. All right, so you guess right. Okay, but to be able to do that, guys, we need to give it some shapes. So let's just drag a shape there. If you study my designs, I always like to make sure there is a shape, some shape, 1 or 2 shapes in there. Okay, I'm going to double click this. I'm going to give it a yellowish color, and the color I'm going to be giving it, guys, is this FED00A. Alright, so I'm going to click on OK, duplicate it 3 times, 1, 2, 3. Good, and I'm going to drag it underneath Napoleon. I need to make sure it falls there nicely. Then I also need to make sure the top one falls there nicely. Okay, then I'm going to select all of them and I'm going to click on this. Good. Now we can start tweaking them a little bit. This one, we can tweak it in there a bit more. Good. This one, we can tweak it in there a bit more. Good. Now this, we can tweak it way much more. Good. And then the last one, we can tweak it also a little bit more. Nice. So I'm going to put it all in a group. I'm going to call it what? Quote. And that is with a quote. But guys, we're not done with it yet. Remember, we need to make sure it falls in that line. Okay, the alignment is really important. I'll leave it somewhere here. Yeah, leave it somewhere here. What else are we going to do? I feel like we should make Napoleon a little bolder to emphasize that it's a little different from the rest. I'm going to make it semi bold. Nice. Okay, we are done with the quote. We can now bring in our contact. I'm going to type over there, and then I'm going to bring in that contact. Then I'm going to paste it there. Now contact has to be color white because we cannot really see it well. Maybe I might change even the position as well, but for now let's just drag it outside it. Let's close this one. What can we do to it? Okay, so we are using Montserrat, right? We know that we need to make it a little bit lighter. Let's make it medium or regular, any of them. I feel like this is better. Also, normally when it comes to the contact, I like to space it up a bit, so I'm going to give it maybe, let's say 800. Okay, 800 for the tracking. I think this is better. And then Control T, right click it, and then flip counterclockwise. Okay, so I'm going to drag it somewhere here. Also, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it a very thin shape. I'll double click it. I'm going to give it color. white. But here is the thing, you're not just going to create a shape just like that. You need to make sure this shape falls in the middle of the text over there. Alright, it just needs to fall in the middle of that 0 there. That is what makes it tick. That's what makes it interesting. Okay, so let's select the two of them, Control T on it, Control H, and guess what? We need to make sure it falls in the middle of the whole canvas. That is the whole point. It needs to fall in the middle of the canvas. Okay, so we can reduce the size of the font, or we can still increase it, whatever it is. I feel like this is better. I feel like this is good. Put it in a group, and then let's call it, so let's close this one. Let's call it contact. Also, we can bring in some few other items. This already looks good and composed. Let's throw in some flying leaves, okay, because we can already see leaves around, so it makes sense. If it's in the garden, there's going to be some leaves falling off here and there. So which one are we going to choose? Let's choose this one first. Yep, good. Let's go again. Which one are we going to choose? Let's choose this one. I've already placed everything nicely already, so you don't even need to touch them much. Okay, all you have to do is just select them. Which one else? We're going to pick this one. Everything just falls exactly in place. Okay, so you don't need to do much work. And then maybe perhaps let's pick maybe this one as well. Okay, so this is the motion. Let's put it in a group. Let's call it leaves, okay, or flying leaves. Okay, so also let's create a new layer. Pick your brush tool, caps lock off. Remember, we are using soft round brush. Pick the yellowish color here, just hit it at the side. Good. Now you can hit it once or twice, depends on you, doesn't really spoil anything. I want you to go and set it to screen. Now I want you to duplicate it again. Good. Now both of them, put them in a group, call them glow. Alright, now let's decrease it a bit more, push it somewhere here. I want it to be on the hair, casted a little bit on the face, and then on the shoulder. This is what makes it tick, and a little bit also on the leaves. Let's see. Yeah, that is the perfect spot. We are done with our glow, guys. Now let's merge everything together. Control Alt Shift and then E, merging everything together. Right click it and then convert it to a smart object. That way we can now begin to apply our camera raw effects. So click on camera raw effect, and then the first thing we are going to be doing is work on a contrast. Okay, so the contrast, guys, give the contrast 40. Then let's go to the shadows. I feel like we should need to work on the shadows also a little bit. It's too dark. Let's give it 19. Good. Now the thing looks brighter a little bit. Let's decrease the whites to 29, and then the blacks as well. Let's make it -9. Okay, the whites, let's make it -20. So the whites, let's make the whites -26. Okay, -26. Okay, then the clarity, let's make it -9. Alright, so that is it. Let's go to sharpen here, and then sharpen, let's make it 67 on the sharpen. Let's go here and then click on saturation. Okay, and then let's input the following figures here. Okay, now let's go to effects as well, and then let's go to the grains. The grains, let's give it 19. We don't want to give it that much. Now let's go here to the amount here. Okay, I'm talking about the vignette and amount. Let's give it -9, and then set here to 50, set here to 0, set here to 50, set here to 0, and then that is it. Click on OK. Now you can see how it looks like now. Everything is quite pronounced. You can also decide to change the helmet to color green if you want to, but I feel like this is enough. Okay, so next thing is let's create our gradient map to just mess with the colors a little bit, throw in some few colors. with somebody who really understands colors, you realize that these colors really make it much more dynamic than it should be. So B05300, I like this one. I'm going to click at the middle here. I'm going to give it 807749. Okay, good. Then I'll come up here. I'm going to give it 50FF69. Alright, and I'm going to click on OK. So this is the colors that we are going to be using. I'll go to normal and I'm going to set it to soft light. That's the blending modes. Okay, so just like that, it throws in those nice colors beautifully. Okay, so that is done. The final thing we want to do, okay, because there is a glow in there, we need to make sure we add some few atmospheric, I don't know how to call it, but it's more like a bouquet, but normally associated with lights. Okay, so let me just show you how to do it. Let's go here, let's go to place embedded, and then let's click on it. All right, I'm going to drag it all the way here, enter. Then I'm going to give it a mask. Then I'm going to pick my brush, make sure my caps lock is off. I'm going to reduce it a little bit. I'll click here, hold shift, and then click here. Okay, make sure your opacity is all the way to 100%. All right, I'll click here, hold shift all the way, and click here. Good. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to drag it all the way here. Then I'll delete this one and create a new one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click here, hold shift, and then maybe click somewhere here. Nice. Now this one I'm going to set it to screen. Now this one also I'm going to set it to screen. Awesome. Now this one, the one underneath it, I'm going to filter, then I'm going to blur, then I'm going to Gaussian blur. I'm going to set the figure here to 27. Now take notice how it blurs into the background beautifully. Okay, it makes it realistic. It's awesome, right? I'm going to leave this the same way. I'm not really going to touch the one on the right side. Okay, so but I'm going to duplicate it and I'm going to pull it over here. Okay, so this is good. I'll click on my brush tool, I'll click over here, increase it, and then just brush across it. I'm going to clean everything over there, everything. So you can see the whole mask here looks black. Now I'm going to set this side to color white, the left lower here I'm going to set it to color white, sorry. Then I'm going to select the areas I want to paint. I want to paint it on the hair here. Good. Around that side, around this side as well. Okay, even around here and a little bit here as well. Good. Now I want this to go away, so I'm going to click on X to toggle it, clean it, even go to this one and then clean it. I don't want it there. I'll go here and then I'm going to bring it in there. Alright, so this looks good already. I think this is better. Let's put it all in a group and then let's call it bouquet or sparkles, whatever you feel like you like. So guys, this is how you create something like this. Now if you love this video, click on the bell icon and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to like this video as well. I love you all guys. See you in the next video. Peace out.